on Playway. $20 backup on pick 3 and cash for each, please.
Okay, are you adding multi-X to your bet?
Yes. Multi-X, all of them.
Smart! Best value bet. Backup and multi-X. You cannot go wrong.
Don't matter the bet, multi-X all of the daily games.
With multi-X added, your winnings can be multiplied 3 times, 5 times, even 7 times. So make it a rule. Add multi-X to all your Playway, daily pick 3, and daily cash for bets every day and for every drop, and watch your money grow. Available at stores and online.
You heard it here. Multiply your winnings daily. Must be 18 or older to play. NLA, making your dreams come true.
Need a taxi? Download RideGo from the App Store. Tap the app.
Yeah. Tap the app. Welcome to Ride Along Live for today. It is Wednesday on the live, on the ride. Yes, Ride Along Live, guys. Nice. How you guys doing? Hey, big up to you, Clifford. Nikki Smith, how you doing? Kathy. Love Ride Along. Ride Along, love you too. Ride Along, love you too. Absolutely. How are you doing, guys? Share the program because today it's important information. Now there's a talk that used to go around. Okay? I didn't hear it recently, but there's a talk that it's only Bacchanal all you like. It's only Bacchanal all you like. I want to change that because the truth and the fact about it is there's a lot of important things that is happening that you need to know about, especially dealing with immigration. If you have a family member that resides in the United States, if you have a friend that resides in the United States, a brother, a sister, if you are planning to visit the United States, you need to understand your rights. You need to understand what you should do, the do's and don'ts. Now, there have been a lot of changes, as we've seen, this administration cracking down on various things, a lot of things, and you need to know. So that's why we have this program here. And I try to do it as much as possible because Deanna Winterfunde has been with us for about 8 or 9 years, and she's very, very busy. So sometimes I nudge her, I said, Deanna, there are some things that my audience are asking. I know you charge consultation because she's not cheap, but she's the best. That's why her prices is not no mediocre price, but she is the best. But I want you to give me an hour of your time, and I beg and I please. Sometimes I don't have to beg because she says, you know what, we're family, don't worry about it, I'll be there. No problem. But tonight is one of those nights that I think it's important that everyone tune in because it is information that you need. So again, if you have a family member, if you have a friend, if you yourself decided to come to the US, if you have a green card, if you have a citizenship, if you have on parole, if you know someone from Haiti, if you know someone from New York, Minnesota, New Jersey, anywhere in the United States, you need to share this program right now. This is information that you need right now. Share it. Why not? Hey, Carol James, I haven't seen you in a long time. How are you? Alisa Gibson, how you doing? Everybody share the program, guys. And when you share it, I want you to share it and when you. Yeah, there we go.
I'm here.
All your friends and family and people who following you will get a chance to share, all right? Share it. Before I bring on Deanna Winterfunde, guys, I want everybody to share it. Share it. It's information that you need. Yeah, damn right she ain't cheap, but she's the best, all right? Let's put it like that. You won't have to go back twice. Okay? One time and you're done, you're good. Margaret, how you doing? Nice. All right, guys, so everybody share, because I don't want to waste time We have a lot of information. We got to talk about so many different things. We've been seeing ICE raids, ICE immigration enforcement are going into people's houses, knocking on their door. What should you do if confronted by ICE? What should you do if you live in New York right now? What should you do if you plan on moving to New York? Are you visiting New York? Have you overstayed your visa? What are your rights? Important information that you need to know. Let's welcome right now on the ride my sister Diane Winter Funday, the best ever did it in the business. Diane Winter Funday, how you doing?
I learned this from my sister. She said, clock it. When you say something that's the truth, she
Yeah.
says, I have to say clock it. So that's the truth. How you doing there, Mr. Ride Along Boss? How are you, sir?
I am absolutely great. Let me tell you, my days here in Grenada, it seems like the time went so fast.
Such a show off. My days here. Poor Junior George.
His
days in Grenada. Oh, right along. Let's say a prayer for Junior, who is just his days in Grenada.
It is.
All of us could be so lucky. I love it.
It is beautiful.
Of course it is.
Hot sun, nice people, good food, good vibe. All of the things, all of the great things. I
love it.
Do I even want to come back to New York? Do I?
I think it's wintertime in New York right now.
It's cold. I was up there last week, and it was so cold that my pipe leading up to my hold on, somebody's calling me. Hold on. I know
Sure.
Yeah, hold on. I'll take. Hey, caller. Hello? Yeah. Yeah. So my pipe burst because it got frozen.
Oh no.
Yes. So, but I was able to fix that. Yeah, I was able to fix it, and it's good to go now. But I was happy that I was there at the time, and the situation was resolved.
Okay, that's good.
Yes. So how you? We got a lot to talk about Funday, and I want to go straight in there because the time frame. And I know that you're very, very busy. Now, where should we start, Funday? Let's talk about the TPS. Let's talk about TPS.
Oh, TPS,
right?
for Haiti.
Haiti.
Yes.
So, tell us what is TPS.
All right. So
what is TPS?
Right. So TPS stands for Temporary Protected Status. I want you to pay attention to the first word.
Right.
Temporary Protected Status. TPS does not grow from temporary to permanent.
Right.
It will forever be temporary protected status. All it is, it means you're from an area, a region where there has been some kind of disaster. Something has happened, a civil war, a crime. In the case of Haiti, as you recall, 2010, it was the earthquake. So something has happened. And because of that, we're going to temporarily not deport you or remove you from the United States. And not only are we going to do that temporarily, we're also going to give you work authorization. We're going to give you permission to work. You're not getting a green card and you're not going anywhere. It's purgatory for those that are Catholics. It's not going anywhere. It's temporary protected status. And that's all it is. We're going to temporarily protect you until something changes in your home country, until the country is rebuilt, until the war stop, until anything bad that has happened, until the tsunami is over and everything is back to normal. Then you must depart the United States. Temporary protected status.
Okay, all right. So with that temporary protective status, right? If you are in that protective status, is there any way to change or get out of that status?
Absolutely. There are many ways that individuals can get their green card in the United States, right? It can be through family-based. It can be through humanitarian. So maybe you marry someone, maybe a parent, a spouse, or a child can petition for you. So even though you're in temporary protected status, you can meet somebody, you get married, they can petition for you, right? Or maybe you're a victim of a crime, then of course, you can go after a U visa or a T visa. So there are lots of ways to navigate outside of this temporary protected status. There's a lot of ways to navigate outside of purgatory.
Right. So, and let me make it clear. So, if you're in that temporary protective status, you could get married. You could
Oh,
legally
absolutely.
get married and then
Yes.
keep that protective status.
Yes.
Right. And it goes through the same process. Like if you overstay, the same thing. No.
Same process, same qualifications. Did you enter lawfully, but then you got into TPS? Okay, you got married. Let's have your partner, your husband, your wife, let that person file for you and you go through the same process.
Right. So, what does it mean when they say that the temporary adjustment status that have it been not observed or will not be observed for Haitian? What is
Yeah.
being done with it right now?
So, as you recall, leading up to February 6th, I believe they were saying we're going to end temporary protected status, meaning it's over now. It's
Right.
over. You all have to go home because they were saying things have changed in Haiti. They can go home. So, what they did, they came back and said, a federal judge came back and said, nope, 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 nope. You are not ending temporary protected status for Haitians. So, the Haitians are still now enjoying this temporary benefit. You get to work, and we're not going to deport you from the United States. Why? There's nowhere to deport you to at the moment.
Right. So Haitians right now are on that temporary protective status until when? Do they have a specific time frame, or is it any time that they could just change their mind?
Anytime they change their mind, it's not just Haiti. We have Nepal. We have, I think, I forgot how many countries are on TPS. It's not just Haiti. It's just that you have Venezuela, Haiti, we have Nepal. We have quite a few countries that are on TPS. Venezuela. We have a lot of countries. For some, they end it. For some, they don't end it. It all depends what's going on in the country. As for Haiti, we don't know when it is going to end. The president can wake up one morning and say, you know what? We're ending temporary protected status for Haiti.
And
And then
someone
we
is
go back
asking
through
here,
this process again.
Gerald is asking here, can they still work with that
Yes.
TPS? They could work.
Yes, because you get to work as part of TPS, as if you're from a country that is designated as having TPS, temporary protected status,
Yeah.
and they tell you the qualifications, when you must have entered the United States, they'll tell you.
Uh-huh.
And if you qualify, you apply for your work authorization and yes, you continue to work. You cannot travel though. You need permission to travel internationally. And we tell most people that are on TPS, don't travel because you don't know what's going to happen. But yes, you can work. You can and you should work.
Right. And she
You
also
should
wants to
work.
find out what do they have to do to keep working in the United States?
They keep renewing their work authorization. So they'll apply for work authorization. I think they give you like a year or 2 years, and you keep renewing it and you continue working until if they end your TPS. One of the things I find with a lot of individuals, Jay, from these countries, because they have TPS, they don't try to look after their green cards or try to find a way out of TPS. Remember, Haiti has had TPS since 2010. We're in 2026. That's 16
Right.
years. Most of you should already be citizens, meaning if you find somebody, you get married, maybe you pursue asylum, you pursue something that you qualify for so that you can get your green card. Don't just sit and wait for the government. We saw what just happened the other day.
Right. So some people become complacent. They just sit there and they be like, okay, I'm on
Yes,
TPS, you know what I mean?
I'm good. I'm
I'm
from
good.
TP. I'm good. I'm not doing anything. Some people just sit and wait. I don't recommend that. I do not recommend that.
Right. So again, guys, TPS, temporary protective status, it did not end for Haitians as was
As was planned.
supposed. It was planned, so they have a little more time. But let's go into now marriage, because people who want to get
Ooh.
out of TPS probably want to get a green card through marriage. I'm hearing through the grapevine that is even more difficult because now they're doing a lot more investigation.
Yes. Let's talk about the marriage fraud crackdown. Let me
Yeah.
tell you, I've been doing this for many, many decades. I have been through a marriage myself with green card. I have seen it everywhere. I have never seen such a crackdown on marriage-based green cards. As you know, Junior, very, very many people, they obtain their green card through marriage. It's probably one of the easiest ways to get a green card in the United States. You meet
Fastest.
somebody who's a citizen, it's
Mhm.
easy and it's fast.
Yeah.
It's easy and it's fast. If you can meet, you can come to the country today, meet somebody getting married, and in 3 years, you're a citizen of the United States. A citizen. Because
Yeah.
you get your green card 3 years later, you become a citizen. So, because of that, the government is saying we're going to have what we call marriage fraud crackdown. They even have units now called fraud detection units. They're looking at some of these marriages, right? And they're looking at the trend. They're looking at the trend where you come into the country, you file for asylum in the meantime, you get your work authorization, then you get married, and then now you're applying for this green card. They're looking at the evidence. Where do you live? Where does the husband live? When you go in for the interview, they're asking some very detailed questions. So
Uh-huh.
the USCIS is saying, listen, we are having a marriage fraud crackdown.
What are some of the things? Because I remember um, that when I went for my green card, it was just basic questions. They asked, how many rooms in your house? Of course, I knew that, and it was no secondary, secondary process where they interrogated both of us separately. That didn't happen. Are we seeing more of that now?
Okay, we are. When I went in, when my husband and I went in, they separated us. We were in separate rooms, and this was back in 2011, 2010. We were separated. Nowadays, practically everybody's getting separated. They're putting you, Loisy J, what's on the menu? I'm hungry. They're putting you in, they're doing a lot of separate things, and they're asking a lot of questions. I
Uh-huh.
had one woman call me, they were asking, when was the last time you had sex? That's what the officer asked this woman.
Really?
Exactly. That's what was asked in her interview. She called me. She was so embarrassed. And this is a big, respectable woman. She was so embarrassed.
Wow.
Yes, they're getting nosy. They're asking a lot of questions in this marriage fraud crackdown. They're looking at social media. For those of you that are not posting your husband, your spouse, and you're posting the boyfriend and the girlfriend and not posting the wife or the husband, they're cracking down on that. They're looking at your social media as well. They're looking at prior marriages, right? Did you divorce your partner so you can get married, so you can get a green card and then go back to the original father of your children? They're looking at that. They're sending people to look at your home. They're doing drive-bys. They're knocking on doors. It's called the marriage fraud crackdown, and they're getting very serious about it, Jay.
Right.
Very, very
As we
serious.
advocate here on the program, if you're getting married, we always advocate that it's legitimate. We don't endorse getting married on the side just for the purpose of that, because that
Yes,
is illegal. Find
very
someone,
illegal.
fall in love, go through the process and get your green card. But no, it's even more difficult for you to do that. Are we seeing a lot more people being stopped? As you said, are you seeing a lot more increase in that numbers?
In as far as what, Jay? Sorry.
As far as with the people who go in for the green card through marriage, are you seeing a lot of people being denied? Are you seeing a increase, definitely increase in
Oh
that?
gosh, yeah, and not only denied, but turned over to deportation immediately. So they're
Oh,
denying them and putting them in deportation like that. They're not taking no time anymore. You're getting denied and then you're getting placed into deportation. Quick, quick, quick. Why, Jay? Most people don't even have a story. They don't have a marriage story. How did you meet? One person is going to say they met on the Brooklyn Bridge. The other person is going to say they met on the PATH train.
right.
You got to have a story on a marriage story. And that's why we always say on this program, if you meet somebody, date, go on dates, get to know each other, and make sure when you go to the interview that both of you understand the immigration journey, both of you understand the story. You should know what your partner does for a living. You should know where your partner works. Like you
Yeah.
said, Jay, you should know how many bedrooms. Is the bedroom to the left or to the right when you come up the stairs?
Yeah. I mean,
You should know. Your
that's
husband and
something that you should
wife.
know for sure.
I know certain things the men might not know the color curtain or who shops where for the groceries, but you should have a general idea about the home that you live in. What did you have for dinner last evening? I don't even remember what I had for dinner last
I
night.
can't even remember what I had
I
to
don't
do
remember
this morning
either.
or
But those
yesterday.
are things they're asking. They're
Yeah.
asking, what you had for dinner, what you had for breakfast, what side of the bed somebody sleep on. So they're getting really, really in there. And remember, marriage fraud is a crime. Marriage fraud, guys, is a crime. It's gonna mess you up. It's gonna slow you down. It is a crime.
Gerald Charles is saying, my green card expired this year. What do I do?
Renew it or let's apply for naturalization, Jarrell. There's no reason why you should have a green card and then you're just going to renew it. That tells me you've had it for 10 years or more. Um, you need to apply for naturalization. If you have a green card, anybody that's listening to this program and you have a green card, remember you can be deported if all you have in your pocket is a green card. Apply for naturalization.
Because I saw a story of a Jamaican. He served in the military for many, many years. He had his green card and he was deported. Are we also seeing an increase in that?
Yes, yes. Guys, remember your green card is an updated visa.
Uh huh.
Your green card is just a little updated visa, meaning you can stay a little longer, you can work a little longer. It is not permanent. The story that Jay is referencing is the Jamaican veteran. He's a veteran of the armed forces here in the United States. He's had his green card for 50 years. He's had his green card for 50 years. He came to this country when he was only 15 years old. He came here when he was 15, guys, and he was just deported a few weeks back. Why? He had some brushing with the law.
Right.
He had a little bit of brushing with the law over the years. Listen, if all you have is a green card, like for Jarrell, did you know you must keep your address updated with immigration, right? Every time you move, you got to let them know where you live. That way, you can, if they send you a letter or they send you anything, you can receive it. This gentleman was deported after he's had his green card for over 50 years.
So, in a situation like that, Fonde, if you are placed in deportation, what is it? What is the next step? What should you do?
Hopefully, it depends why they place you in deportation. If it's certain crimes, you're in trouble. Marijuana crimes, you're in trouble.
Uh huh.
Firearms, you're in trouble. What we call aggravated felons, some of those bad crimes, domestic violence, you're in trouble. Um, for certain things, we can work our way around it. But if you're placed in deportation, the only thing I can tell you, you need to hire an immigration lawyer at that point, because we have to look at why were you placed in deportation. If it's marriage fraud, we're in a little bit of trouble. So it depends on why you were placed in deportation, because that's going to help us decide how we're going to strategize and get you out of there.
So, what is the plan now? If in this situation here you apply for your citizenship or your green card, true legal means you married, but you probably fail on a question or whatever, and placed in deportation. What's the next step for you?
Okay, so typically, if you just apply for your naturalization and you have no criminal history, none at all, they won't place you in deportation if they deny you. If you can't answer some of the questions, they'll
Uh-huh.
give you a second chance to come back. So for
Okay.
those of you that are listening, the naturalization, they'll give you a naturalization quiz, right? They'll ask you some countries. And I think, Jay, you've passed that. But say,
Yes.
for example, you didn't pass the quiz, they give you another chance to come back in. They'll
Okay.
say, come back a second time. They won't place you in deportation just because you failed the naturalization quiz.
I see. So it's a process. But what about a lot of people saying that they're not even given due process?
So if you have an old removal order, they're not going to put you back in front of the judge. So for those that are saying, you know what, they didn't let me go back in front of the judge, I didn't get my due process. That's because, like in the case of this gentleman that was deported to Jamaica,
Yeah.
he was deported since 2014. He was
Yeah.
deported in 2014, but he was just living here not knowing about it. He was just living here. And he was driving in Georgia, I believe, without a license. And that's how he got arrested. That's how he got arrested.
Right, right,
He
right.
was driving without a driver's license and he got arrested.
Someone asking a question has anything changed as it relates to people that are coming into the United States or visitors that's coming into the United States? Any rights, any difference in the rights?
There aren't any rights for temporary. If you're coming, you have your little B1, B2. What they're doing now, Junior, they're being very strict. Like they're saying, okay, what are you coming to do? Oh, we noticed you came last year and you spent 3 months. So
Right,
Customs and Border Patrol is just getting a little bit more strict. Okay, if you work, why did you spend 5 months here last year? Let me
right.
see your phone. Let me see your phone. And in your phone, they may see, yes, you have to give up your phone, guys. Clean up the phone. Clean up the phone. Clean up the phone.
They go into
Clean
your
up the
phone.
phone.
They go
Yes,
into
they
your
can.
phone.
Yes, I've seen them. They go through the phone and they may see that, wait, you were washing cars and getting money. You done text the lady, said, when you land, you're going to be there and you're going to pay me 200 a week to take care of the mom. That is working. So they'll go through your phone and they're going to turn you right back around and cancel your visa, especially if you're using it for the purposes not intended. You can only use the visa for the purposes intended.
Right. But what if you're a visitor? You came to the United States, you're legitimately a visitor, and say you get sick and you have to go to the hospital. Should you be scared to go to the hospital? You're still within that
No.
6 months period.
Go to the hospital. Please, if you get sick, please call the ambulance and go to the hospital. Why? You can even do an extension of the visa. If it's time for you to leave, you extend the visa, you send it to immigration to let them know I've been hospitalized, I cannot travel. If you're a Even if you're undocumented and you get sick, you should go to the hospital.
Right.
Please don't die. It doesn't make sense. You go. The doctors will take care of you. They
Right.
will take care of you.
Yeah, yeah. What about school? What about school? If you are living here in the United States and say you have an American, say you are not documented, but you have a United States citizen child, um, is it okay to go to school? And what does that mean for you? How does that help you? Could he help you get your documents?
So say for example, you have a US citizen child and you've been here for 20, 21, 22, 23, 24 years. First of all, every child, whether documented or not, is entitled to elementary school education, meaning from grade 1 up to high school, elementary high. It
Right.
doesn't matter your legal status. You're entitled, you should go. If and when that child turns 21 years of age and they're a citizen, they can then petition for you if
Uh-huh.
and when the child turns 21. So for those of you that maybe came in on your little B1, B2, your H2B 20 years ago, where you could have come in 2000, 2001, you gave birth to a child and you didn't do anything to kind of legalize your status over the years, and the child is now 21. I encourage you, that child can now petition for you. That
Uh-huh.
child can now petition for you.
But before you get to 21, he cannot do nothing for you. Cannot go through that
Can't,
process.
cannot petition for you. Cannot petition for mom or dad until he or she turns 21 years of age.
Right. Now, I asked that question before, but this keeps popping up because people keep asking me this question. Someone traveled from Trinidad, Grenada, where have you, and they came into the United States. They were pregnant and we happened to give birth right here, but they have no legal rights here. They're still within that 6 months period, and they gave birth to a child in the United States. What happened to that child now if the mother decide to move back to the country? What happened? What status does this child fall under?
The child is a citizen of the United States by birth. Under the United States Constitution, you're a citizen by birth or naturalization. By birth, like you and I, Jay, we're naturalized citizens. We weren't born. We never born here, so we have rights. We don't have the full rights because
Right.
we weren't born here. But that child that was born here is a citizen of the United States. When mom decides to leave, mom can take her child with her. The child is going to be given a United States citizen passport. I encourage mom to do I'm sorry, the child will be given a United States citizen birth certificate.
Birth certificate, yeah.
Mom can either do a passport at the consulate in the home country or do the passport here. Let me tell you something. That child can live in the Caribbean for the next 40 years. At year 41, they decide, you know what? Ted, a grenade, you know, me I go back America. They buy an airline ticket, they take their passport, and they come right back to their country of birth. They will forever be United States citizens. Remember when this current administration came in, that is something they wanted to change. They call it birthright citizenship. You're born here, they cannot take that away from you ever, ever, ever.
Right. Someone is asking the question. Someone is asking the question, a follow up to someone coming here and coming to the United States and having kids, and they probably did not pay that bill. Right. They probably did not pay that medical bill. How do one deal with a situation like that? Coming in and not being able to pay that bill, but they did in fact give birth here. What happens next?
It might be a little problem later on. Say, for example, that person now meets someone and wants to get married and they're adjusting status. Immigration can then ask for proof that they had paid that bill. Because if you're coming here to have it's called birth tourism. So if you're coming into the United States to have a child, first of all, it's not allowed. It's not a thing. There's no visa to come here and have a child, but people do it. It's not something that it should be done, but people do it all the time. If they find out when you're ready to adjust your status, you know, you get married and now you're like, okay, I want to adjust my status. They're going to ask who paid that bill or how that bill was paid. They're going to ask. Yes, they're going to ask.
So it follows you.
It follows you, yes. Because if you're giving birth to a child in the US, you should be paying your own bill. You should be paying your own bill.
Absolutely. Guys, 718-701-5720. That's our number. We're speaking here with attorney Deanna Winter-Funde on a range of topics dealing with immigration. We spoke about the TPS particularly for Haitian, but it's not only Haitian that under the temporary protective status. The denial, the marriage fraud crackdown. And something that we keep seeing every day in the news, the mass deportation, Funde. Where we are with that? Are we seeing more of that? Are we seeing less of that?
More every day. In fact, the government has begun to buy up all these warehouses for prisons. As you know, we still have alligator Alcatraz here in Florida. They call it Florida South Side now. They don't want to say Alcatraz, but it is Alcatraz. We're seeing more people, those individuals with green cards that maybe had a little bit of arrest in the past. We're seeing them being detained. Remember, the government says they're deporting over between 13 and 15 million individuals will be removed from the United States. I think they're probably like the 2 million mark. Some people are just buying their own tickets and leaving because they don't want to be detained. So the mass deportation continues to be a thing. They're enforcement individuals with crimes. Whether you're undocumented or you have a green card or you're here visiting, the drug offenses, the firearm offenses, they're going after those with the criminal convictions. Long-term lawful permanent residents with criminal convictions. We just talked about the Jamaican man that was deported. That's who ICE is looking for. Those long-term, those lifelong LPRs that got into a little bit of trouble but forgot about it, they're looking for you.
But Funde, his crime, I read up on him. I saw the video on him. His crime was a bounce check that was written, and he made good on that bounce check. So there's no magnitude. It's not like he killed someone, in other words.
Right. So immigration have things, they have ways at which they call crimes. Fraud, misrepresentation, CIMT, crimes involving moral turpitude, domestic violence crimes. Immigration you'll do something over here and it's a little misdemeanor, a slap on the wrist.
Right.
Immigration calls it a deportable offense. So remember, the crime and the deportable offense is two different things. Immigration looks at it differently. Now, when you say fraud, immigration frowns upon fraud convictions. And what I understand is that this gentleman wrote a bounce check. He took care of it, but it was fraud. I also understand there was a little bit of domestic violence there. And so he had his I'm not going to say he had his opportunity because he didn't get served. But under normal circumstances, you will get a notice to go to court. And then you'd have had your chance to explain to the immigration judge why these crimes don't fit why I should be deported.
Right.
But he was ordered deported in his absence, in absentia. He was not there because he said he never got the notice.
And he wasn't protected at all. He was a part of the U.S. military.
Armed forces. Yes. Yeah. He served in the U.S. military. I think it's very sad, Jay. It's very, very, very sad, I can say. Very sad.
Absolutely. What about countries that have been receiving third country nationals, right?
Yes.
How has that been going? I know we spoke about that extensively the last time.
It's going good for the U.S., not so good for the people. I had a client who in his asylum claim, he said he can't go back to his home country, and we won what we call CAT, Convention Against Torture or Withholding. And they said, okay, you don't have to go back to your home country, but you're not staying in the U.S. So they send him to a country. There's a couple, I think St. Kitts are one of those. There's quite a few countries in the Caribbean that are accepting individuals. So you don't have to go back to your home country, but you're not staying here.
Right.
You're not staying here.
Are we seeing an increase in those? Because I know that Grenada is on the verge or signed. I didn't get a full update on that. And Kitts, as you said, Antigua, St. Lucia, you know, it's so. Sorry, excuse
Bless
me.
you. Bless you.
So, are we seeing a lot more of the of that engagement where they're sending back to third countries? And some of these countries, they don't have no cultural attachment.
Nothing. They have nothing. They've never been. It's not like their auntie, cousins. Nobody lives in this third country. Some of these people, even El Salvador is accepting people. Like some of these individuals have never even heard of these countries. There's some countries in Africa where I've had to go look up the names of these countries where they're sending people. I'm like, where is this country? And how are they a safe third country?
Yeah. Okay, we got a call.
There's a lot going on with that.
Let's see if you could take that call in right now. Caller, let me bring that caller in on this line. Caller, where are you calling us from? Hello?
Hi, good night.
Hey, caller.
Hello?
Turn your background,
Hi.
turn your background down a bit. Turn your background down a bit because we're getting a bit of feedback.
I'm sorry. Okay, you hear me now?
Yes, loud and clear.
Okay, I have two questions. I recently had a cousin that had her son filing for her, and she listed her children underneath, but they came back and said that the children wouldn't be able to follow her as they need their own petition. However, the kids are underage, and there was no section that said that they couldn't put them underneath it. So then after she said she went to the interview, and then they told her that the kids should have been able to follow her. And I was kind of confused about that because we did put it, but then they said that they had to have their own petition. And then for the 824, I kind of looked up and I see they had a form called 824. I'm really confused about that. So I just want a little explanation on it. Please.
All right. Okay, no problem. She could answer. Yes, she'll hear you Monday.
Yes. All right. So it sounds.
You could actually say, okay, she hung up. I guess. Okay, go ahead.
So it sounds like the child filed for the mom, but mom has some children, right? And so what happens to those children? I believe that what mom can do, if mom got her green card, she can now file for the children. Just go ahead and file for those children. When she comes in, she files for them. I know she's looking at the 824, which is a follow to join. She's going to run into trouble with that because mom did not adjust status in the United States. The 824 is for when you've adjusted status, not when you're out. And I should have asked her. I hope they were outside the US. It sounds like they were outside the US. So
It's
the
okay.
A24 is only when you're inside, when mom got the green card inside of the US. You can't do the follow to join on a petition where everything happened outside of the US.
Right. Okay. All right. Again, 718-701-5720. That's our number if you want to call in right now. Ask your question live on air. 718-701-5720. Now, Funde, the safe third country nationals that are being sent back, is America helping these countries financially to upkeep these people that are sent back financially? Is that happening?
Oh, there's no upkeep. There may be a little price to take them. There's no upkeep. There are no programs that are being put in place on American dollars to help these people transition. There's none of that happening. There's none of that happening.
I'm confused at that because
There's none of that happening.
Because in some of the MOUs, some of the government are saying that they would accept it on the conditions. So these countries and them, are they in a position to negotiate conditions that say, okay, the upkeep of these people? Because where are they going to actually stay when they get to those countries? Are they going to be on the street? Are they going to get housing? How are they going to support it?
Yeah. So I think there's some, from what I understand, in El Salvador and some of those places. So for some people, they're going straight to prison. For the criminals, when they go to El Salvador, they're being incarcerated. For some of these other countries, there may be like a little brief transition, but after that, you're on your own. I know our client that was calling us, he was begging his family for an airline ticket so he could leave that country and head back to his home country. There's nothing that was put in place, like for housing, for a stipend. There's none of that. You're on your own. Once you land, there may be a little bit of transition period. After that, you are on your own.
That is interesting. Another question here.
On your own.
How long would it take for a green card holder to get citizenship? Could get their citizenship?
So it's either 5 or 3 years. 3 years if you're married to a U.S. citizen. 5 years if you got your green card through another immediate relative, like a parent or a child. But if you're married to a U.S. citizen, it's 3 years or 5 years. 3 years or 5 years. The application processing time depends on where you are. In Tampa, where I live, we see 4 to 6 months for them to process the application. Atlanta, New York, it's going to take a little bit longer, maybe 8 to 12 months.
Okay. All right. Okay. Back to the question of third country nationals, right? You say that in some cases where the folks that are being sent back, if they are criminals, they go straight to jail. Okay. What if they are not? Because we've seen a lot of people that are being deported and they're not criminals. So they get off the plane at Piaco International, Maurice Bishop International, where have you. Then what?
Then they get processed. And I imagine there's a little transition period and then they're on their own. There's no housing for them. It's not like these countries have built housing for deportees. There is no housing. And I'm only repeating what I've been told from our client who was sent to a third country. There is no housing. They were processed, fingerprinted, and then I think there was like a little transition housing, nothing long. And then you're on your own.
But funny, this is
you're
crazy.
On your own.
Listen, they are madness. Not criminals. They are not criminals. They didn't commit no crime. Why are they being fingerprinted?
Because whenever you get deported, whenever you get returned or anything, they do collect your prints. So anytime someone gets deported from the United States to any other country, remember they're picked up by the immigration unit for, I don't know if you've ever been on a flight, Jay, and you've had deportees on your flight. I've been on flights where, first of all, they sit in the back of the plane and they can't deplane. And there's always immigration or customs. There's somebody waiting at the plane door for them. And they call it processing. In some cases, they're sending an entire plane load to a city. So you're not on that flight. So a whole plane chartered, ready to go with deportees. They're all processed, fingerprinted, identified, and then they are released into the general population. So long as they were, like you said, they're not criminals, they're simply released.
Yeah,
released.
You just said that there, and it's kind of related to me because most of the time when I'm flying back, I buy my flight late and I'm sitting in the back of the plane. So probably a lot of people looking at me like, That's what, because I'm usually sitting
And
in
you'll know them because some of them will just have I know them because they'll have a soft bag. They won't
Oh,
have a suitcase. They'll have a soft bag because
yeah,
most of them are not. And I don't want to get technical, but technically, ICE is supposed to allow you 2 bags. They don't allow you any bags. They just give you a soft bag, or you may have just the things that you had when you landed, and they're turning you around. I've
right,
seen them turn you around, and you'll see TSA or the police officer CBP right at the plane door. So I
right.
kind of have seen that. But you'll have a soft bag. You're not gonna be nicely dressed, and you're not gonna have no proper suitcase or anything.
Yeah, but Fonda, here is the problem. Here is what's blowing my mind, right? You would come into a country, you don't have no family, don't have no friends, don't have no place to live, you don't have, I mean, you don't have anything, no affiliation. You probably don't even speak the language.
Yes,
You're
that
not
part.
providing any assistance, no housing. The country, some of the countries, like a small country like Grenada and those small countries, they don't have the resources to house and support and provide all assistance to all these people that's coming in. I don't want to sound bad when I say these people,
Yeah,
but they don't have the resources. And you
they
say
don't.
America that is sending them there is not giving them the countries any resources to maintain.
No, nope. There might be a little bit of thing in the agreement, but like I said, there's no housing. This is not, oh, let me send you to this country and you get a house and you get 3 meals a day. That is not happening. That is why a lot of people are opting to go back to their home country. Do not send me to the safe third country. Do not send me there. Send me back to my home country. Do not send me to a safe third country.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Don't send me to a safe third country.
Because you don't know nothing there.
You don't.
Yeah. All right. 718-701-5720. That's our number right here, guys. If you want to call in, we spoke about the TPS, the denial, the marriage fraud, crackdown, mass deportation, and people that are going around Funday. I've seen this. I've seen it on TikTok and social media where people are actually walking with their green card or their passport.
Yes.
What do you advise that?
So I walk with my passport but for another reason, because I don't
Because
know
you're
when
always traveling. You don't know
I
when.
don't know when I'm going to jump on somebody's plane, right? But I have seen where ICE have detained. So ICE can detain you. Remember, we
Right.
talk about your rights, right? Whether you're in
Yes.
a private place or a public place. So if you're in public and law enforcement, ICE is considered law enforcement. If you are approached, then they can detain you to ascertain whether or not you're a citizen or not. So long enough for them to determine who you are, right? I've seen where people said they didn't give me a chance long enough. And I've had personal experiences where once they prove that they're citizens, and you really don't need a passport to prove if you're a citizen or not. ICE have their little machine with their little notes. They can tell who you are. So you don't really need the passport to prove. The passport is just quick and easy. Here's my passport. This is who I am.
Right.
But you can walk with your passport if it makes you feel better. But ICE, CBP, they all have ways to ascertain. That is why when you get pulled over driving without a license, they can tell that you were here undocumented. The passport, you can have it, but they have their system to tell exactly what your status is.
But we're talking about federal and state. We're talking about federal and state. And in a lot of cases, is the state sharing that information with the
Yes.
feds?
Oh my God, they're in bed together. They're in bed
What about all
together.
these
That is what.
people in New York where they said, okay, if you don't have citizenship, if you don't have your green card, you could still get a driver's license. And a whole slew of people went and get that. What about people who went and get their tax ID and they didn't have any kind of legal status in the United States? Is this information being shared with the Fed?
This information is being shared. This information, that is why when you're driving without a license and they pull you over for remember the sheriff pulls you over for driver's license.
Yes.
The sheriff is able to ascertain that you don't have any status, and they notify ICE. You know what ICE sends back? The ICE hold. I know the people in the chat know what I'm talking about, because they'll say, oh, Miss Winter, I bailed out my husband, but the sheriff says he has an ICE hold. That is because they're all in bed together. The sheriff knows, ICE knows, they're sharing information. They're sharing information, Jay. That is why sometimes when I see family members get arrested and the person is undocumented, I say, don't waste your money on a bond because you're going to bail them out from the sheriff. And ICE is waiting. It's like ICE is just standing there waiting. And ICE have, I think, 72 hours in order to come for your family member. Somebody on TikTok said all correct. It's correct. They are coming for your family member. They are in bed together. They share information together. They know who's documented. They know who's not. Let me tell you where else you need to avoid if you're undocumented. Military bases. Do not go onto a military base if you're undocumented. Please, I'm begging you. Because the moment you go in and you get cleared, they're also going to notify ICE that you're there. And ICE is going to put an ICE hold on you for entering that military base.
You mean like if you're visiting a family member?
Yes.
Or what? Right.
Yes. Yes. Or you have a friend.
Base,
yes, some people have friends in it because I love to go onto the military base to shop because it's cheaper, tax-free. So like when my son comes home, let's go on the military because the commissary is amazing. You don't pay taxes on anything. They have the latest this. So maybe you have a friend who's in the armed forces and they say, come, let me take you on base with me. And you go to the gate because remember, you have to clear. You have to give them all these documents. It's going to trigger ICE. I have clients that are now detained because they went to graduation on military bases. So you cannot, if you're undocumented, there's certain things you just cannot do. There's certain things that you just cannot and should not do.
Interesting.
And that's one of them. That's one of them.
Someone is asking, can you walk with a photocopy of your ID?
Your driver's license, no. In the United States, you need to have your driver's license with you at all times, not a copy. Not a copy. You need your ID. If you have a driver's license or non-driver's ID, I would walk with the actual document because this has some security features built in, Jay. You see all them number upon them something. They think them a number not tell them say if me a citizen or green card holder. All of these, even my social, because I look at even my social security number compared to my son who was born here. My social and my daughter's social looks different. So even our social security numbers can tell who we are and where we are and what our status is.
Right. So what should someone do if they're at home and someone came and knocked at their door and said that the ICE? What is the next step? What should they do?
Tell them to go away from your doorstep. Hey, ICE, go away from your son. You fool. Come off on my doorstep. If you are inside of your house and anybody knocks, law enforcement, even me, if I knock, don't answer. I have no rights. I don't care. Hear what you say to them. Please to put the judicial warrant under the door because in order for them to enter your home and knock and push the warrant under the door, and then you look at it and make sure it is a judicial warrant signed by a judge giving them permission to enter your home.
But some of them are not even coming with judicial warrant. They're coming with a sheriff warrant.
Don't open the door. It has to be a judicial warrant, not some little warrant from the sheriff. A warrant because they have to go to the judge, tell the judge why they need to come into your home.
Right.
And it has to be beyond a reasonable doubt that there's a crime afoot. Like this person is wanted, they killed 3 people and we need to go get them. And we know for a certainty that they're in there. They're in that house. So if ICE knocks, please do not answer. If you're inside the curtilage of your home, you're in the privacy of your home, tell them to come off of your doorstep, tell them you're in an argument with them, whether you're a citizen or not. Don't answer. If you're outside driving, that's a different story. Now you're in the public. That is a different story. Yes.
Wow. So, and this is based on what I heard, that a lot of people are being presented with non-judicial warrant.
Nope. It has to be a judicial warrant. Nope. First of all, what's the sheriff warrant going to say? What the sheriff know about you?
Exactly.
The sheriff has to have a warrant to arrest you based on something. So if you're a criminal now, that's a whole other story, Jay. If you're a criminal, that's another story. Maybe the sheriff has a warrant for you. That's something totally different. But if
Right.
you're an immigrant, documented or undocumented, if ICE is knocking at your door, do not answer. Tell them you need to see the signed judicial warrant. First of all, no judge ain't signing no warrant for no ICE officer to come into your home.
But how all these people were taken into custody by ICE in Minnesota and these places and them?
They were out. They're out. If you look at it, a lot of them were outside.
Outside, okay.
Yeah, they're outside. They're outside. They're driving. They get you a lot with, like the gentleman that we talked about a little bit earlier. He was driving without a license.
Okay.
Here in Florida, I know the big thing is taillights, broken taillights. The taillights is a big thing. Also, we know broken taillights. They what do you call it? Racial profiling. Profiling. They'll see a van with a lawnmower and rakes, so they just assume these are undocumented individuals. So there is some profiling. Certain Caribbean restaurants, the Greyhound bus station, the Amtrak station, some of it is just profiling. The turn signals is another one. So they're just looking for anything to get you, anything at all. That's what I'm saying. If you don't have a license, don't drive.
Right.
If you don't have to go to New York, don't go. Because they're also in the airports.
Right. And that brings me to my next question, domestic travel.
They're there. They can question you. Now they have the real ID. So when you even swipe your little ID, they know your status. They know your status on the real ID. A lot of people see real ID all over the airport and they don't even know what it means. They know when you swipe, they know what's happening. They know what's happening.
Yeah, wow. I really felt that in New York in particular, when they had this legislation that you should get your tax ID and pay your taxes, and a lot of immigrants went for it. There were situations where they said, drivers could obtain, or immigrant could obtain driver's license. A lot of people went for that as well. So now they're getting caught up into the system. But I got a call on the line. Let's see what that caller has to say. Caller, live, where calling us from?
Hi, I'm calling from the U.S. I'm interested in finding out what is the status of someone who comes in, commits a crime against a U.S. citizen. If that's reported, would the person get deported because they did it? Say that they fraudulently said that someone sponsored them and got a lawyer to do all of that. But it wasn't true. If that's reported, is that person going to be sent back, or what happens in that case?
Right. She could hear you, so just say she could respond to you. Go ahead, Funda.
All right. So in that case, I think so let me be very, 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 very candid. I represent immigrants. I don't give advice or information that will harm any immigrant. It's in my blood. I'm an immigrant. For that, I would advise this caller to probably reach out to a lawyer that does something that I don't do. Ethically, I cannot give you any advice because I represent immigrants. And it sounds like to me you're saying somebody got sponsored. They probably did something very fraudulent.
Oh, my identity.
Right. So I would say to call up the local police, call up somebody who doesn't do what I do, because ethically, I don't want to steer you wrong, but that's not what I do, right? I represent immigrants.
But the person whose identity was stolen doesn't get into trouble, because I wasn't aware of it until recently.
Yeah, I would call up the local police department and talk to them.
Okay. Thank you so much.
And Jay, let me just say this. I'm an immigrant through and through. There's certain things I'm just not gonna do. You know what I mean? Because this is a community I represent. So I get that call a lot, caller, where I don't know if the caller hung up, where people will call me and say, "Oh, no, I got married, and I think that the person is defrauding me." because of my beliefs and because of what I do and because of what I stand for, I don't play on both sides of the fence. You know, some people all over, I'm on one side of the fence. I'm going to tell you, look, call up the local police, call up the local sheriff, call up an attorney that does that kind of thing. My goal is to help the immigrant community.
Right. All right,
Okay,
caller.
thank you.
All right.
You're
cool.
welcome, caller. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Right. See, someone sent me some information here. If I can get it, code date for me. Okay. I don't quite understand what the person's saying, so I'll ask them to send me back that WhatsApp again. So are we seeing extended time in terms of response from immigration? Because I had a friend that submitted documents years ago, and every time he wants to check online, it keeps saying the same thing. It has not moved. Nothing has changed. Are we seeing extended times?
I'm going to say yes and no. For certain cases, it's normal processing times. For certain cases, it's just normal processing times. For some cases, it's a backlog. Asylum cases, huge backlog. When you're in deportation court, huge backlog. But if you're submitting, you know, those adjustment of status, the regular application to immigration, I'm not seeing a lot of huge delays. Of course, it's immigration rush hour. I like to call it that because
Right.
everybody who have a little chance now are filing their application. So I'm seeing a lot of that, but I'm not seeing everything being delayed. Some cases are being delayed. Some cases are not being delayed. Naturalizations are not being delayed. Why? The primary elections are coming up in November. They want a lot of people to become citizens because we have a highly contested election this fall.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. The question here someone else asked is, as a visitor to the U.S., do you always have to walk with your passport, or can you walk with your country's ID?
You can walk with your country ID, because I don't want you to lose your passport, Francis Felix. You walk up and down with your passport, you lose it. Although these are trying times, you know, so I imagine what you're saying is in case they stop you, you want to have some proof. But I don't want you to lose your identity documents. Your ID should be enough.
Right, okay.
ID should be enough.
Right. On the question of long delay, right, this person is sending me some information here where the case was received since 2025, very long. They got a response saying that response from the USCIS request for evidence was received. And that was since 2025, right? And that was for requests of evidence for the I-185, application registration of permanent residence or adjustment of status. They have the receipt number, they have everything here, but it's just saying that case status online, it has been received from 2025 further back, June, July, it has not moved. What's next?
So here's the thing. Immigration is like a conveyor belt, Jay. Whenever they have to take your case off to ask you for something, and a request for evidence means you didn't send them what they needed. So when they take your case off to ask you for something, they're not in a rush to put it back on once you send the something.
Right.
So once they have to stop and ask you for something, it slows down your process. There's a quick and fast way to look at case processing times. Look USCIS.gov case processing times, and you kind of look to see where they are. But just keep in mind, when they have to take your case off the conveyor belt, it kind of slows down the process, because now they got to put it back on because they have to wait for you to send what you needed, what they needed, quite frankly. But June 2025, I'd reach out to them and make sure they received it.
How you reach out to them? Would you call them?
Yes. Yep. The petitioner, hopefully with the petitioner, not the beneficiary. Don't call beneficiary. Petitioner, call and have your receipt number and just say, hey, I sent this in. I want to know what's going on.
Right.
And you can call their customer service number.
So the petitioner call the customer service number with their case ID and find out what's happening.
What's going on to make sure they got what was asking for.
Okay. Someone asking about the VAWA application. I have my fourth, what is it, prima facie? I don't know what that is.
Yeah, prima facie.
Okay, prima facie. Get a court date for May then then my case from Puerto Rico to Philadelphia. Why? I guess it got changed.
Mm-hmm.
Could you give
Probably
me?
if yeah, I don't know if you moved or something happened. So VAWA is one of those you ask about the backlog, Jay.
Yeah.
Remember, there's only 10,000 VAWA green cards annually. So each year, if you don't make the cut, they give you what they call a prima facie determination. You can
Okay.
get one, you can get two. All it means is, look, you didn't make the cut this year. We never processed your case, and you can use this to go get a work authorization. Keep in mind, caller, if you want to reach out to us, you can do VAWA cancellation of removal inside of court with your judge. Keep in mind that is an option. So all your options are not lost. You have court coming up. Hopefully you have an attorney. If you don't have one, reach out to us and we can assist you with that.
Okay. All right. All right. So this next person here, she have a case. She filed a case in November 2024, got a EAD in March 2025. Now still waiting on my application.
Same question. I-360. That's VAWA. Same question. Yeah, you'll be waiting until about maybe 2029 on that, my love. They're about I've seen between 3 and 5 years. I've seen very little at the 3-year mark. Most VAWA are being processed at the 4 or 5-year mark. So you will probably be waiting until about 2029 for your VAWA to be processed.
Right. How long you have to wait for sponsorship for a green card? I think we covered that a couple times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Lots of good questions tonight, Jay. What?
A lot. They're energized.
Lots of good questions tonight.
People are paying attention, and that's what we
telling
like.
you, they are.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me see if we have any other quick question here. So Funde, again, just to update on some of the things that we spoke about earlier. We talked about the TPS extended for Haitians. We're talking about the increase in marriage fraud crackdown. Make sure, guys, that you have your stuff together, especially if you're going on that interview. You might get separated. You have to know about your partner, all right? You have to know about your partner. We also spoke about the sad situation with the Jamaican who was deported after 50 years living in the United States. And that is sad, an increase in deportation. And the million-dollar question, do you foresee this getting better before it gets worse? Or what
it's the other way around. It's going to get worse before it gets better.
Really?
I think it's going to get worse before it gets better. There's just a lot of cultural hate. There's a war on immigrants. There's so many people that believe in what the president is doing that it's going to get worse before it gets better. It's going to get worse before it gets better.
Wow, guys. But listen, at least you have a lawyer that cares and is always available. A lot of people in our office, they could take your call, answer your questions. And I keep boasting about it. I had a green card for many, many years. I didn't want to change it. And Funde said, go ahead and change that green card. Get your citizenship.
No. And look at you now, every minute you'd be calling me now, Funde, I come back in with the green card and they stop me again. I would go I would go click.
Man, I would
go
been.
click.
So I'm happy that I did that.
Now you're free. You're free.
Well, until they change something up again for the who knows? Things are changing quickly. Anything else we touch on before we wrap up for the day?
Yeah, just a reminder though, don't lose hope. If you think you have an option or if you'd like to talk to us about your case, just kind of reach out and let's have a conversation. I know opening the mail can be devastating because you don't know what letter is coming from immigration. But if you think you have any option at all for immigration, explore it. Don't sit and wait. Make sure you explore those options.
Absolutely. And your phone number, if they want to call, I told them already, stick that number on your fridge.
Yes, please put it on your fridge. 813-807-7015. 813-807-7015. We do have a consultation fee of $175. It's more than a consultation. It's a chat. We're going to talk about options for you. We're going to talk about what can you do to change your situation in the United States. For those of you that have a green card, let's get rid of the green card this year. Let's move you into naturalization. Let's move you into naturalization.
Absolutely. I endorse that message. Thank you so much, Funday. We'll keep in touch. And we'll
Absolutely.
Thank
it's
you.
Always a pleasure. Oh my God. 2018. We're at the 8-year mark. 8 years I've been on Ride Along.
Yes.
Jesus,
Yes. It's
Jesus,
been a long time. It's been a long time.
Thank you, Ride Along family. It's always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. And I'm coming to Grenada this year, I promise.
Yeah, man. Funday, we really appreciate you. And let me tell you, Funday is not just a friend, not just a family. I consider a family. She's also someone to give me a lot of business advice. And I mean, you've been talking about the Ride Go and all the great advice. You know, we're going from strength to strength. Now, Ride Go is the fastest growing ride share on the island. And we encourage everyone, if you're going out at any point in time, tap the app. Get a Ride Go. Funday, you know, when you come, you're getting VIP, yeah?
Oh, I can't wait. Ride Go.
Absolutely. Thank you, Funday. We'll keep in touch.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Need a taxi? Download Ride Go from the App Store. Tap the app.
Yeah. What boy? Yeah. What boy? What boy? The sun is hot. The breeze is slow. I need a ride. Where do I go? Ride Go. Yeah. That's the name. Island roads will never feel the same. Tap the app. Just one click. Hopping fast. It's real quick. Ride Go. Where do you wanna go? To the beach, to the street, let the island flow. Ride Go. The good vibe show, fastest growing ride. Everybody know. Ride Go. Where do you wanna go? To the beach, to the street, let the island flow. Ride Go. Let the good vibe show, fastest growing ride. Everybody know.
Where do you want to go?
Yeah, guys, don't forget, if you're going out, tap the app, get a Ride Go. Taxi that will pick you from anywhere, everywhere, anywhere you are. Also, guys, if you're going to Carriacou, Kayak Mass 2026, yeah, Ride Go is also in Carriacou, eh? Yeah, so if you're going there any time of the day or night and you need a taxi, you could get a Ride Go. Yeah, man. So download the app right now, guys, from your app store. Go into the app store and search Ride Go, RYDEGO. It's just like Uber. For those of you guys familiar with Uber, it's just like Uber. Once you have Ride Go, you could tap the app, request a taxi, and they'll come and pick you up. Download it from the app store right now. Ride Go, where do you want to go?
Are you a progressive young leader, a proactive emerging executive, a rising professional? Then you need appropriate cover for your vehicle. Introducing the Pro Motor Plan from Beacon. Car insurance that includes free loss of use, windscreen cover up to $3,500, free special perils, free accident forgiveness. Get Beacon's Pro Motor Plan today. Don't procrastinate. Call Beacon today at 440-4447 or visit beacongrenada.com.
The Grenada Independence Planning Committee and the Grenada Association Toronto, under the auspices of the Grenada High Commission in Canada and the Consulate General of Grenada in Toronto, present our Diaspora Independence Celebrations 2026. The following are the events: an ecumenical Independence Thanksgiving service on Sunday, February 1st at 3 p.m. at St. Charles Borromeo Church, 811 Lawrence Avenue. A flag raising ceremony on Thursday, February 5th at 12 noon at podium roof inside Toronto City Hall. 2 symbolic Independence Day illuminations. Grenada national colors will light up the tower clock at the Brampton City Hall at sunset until the next morning. Later that evening, all roads lead to the world-famous Niagara Falls. On Saturday, February 14th from 6:30 p.m., we have an Independence Gala at Parkview Manor. And finally, on Sunday, April 12th from 1 p.m., we shall close it off with a splash at Showcase Grenada, a celebration of all things Grenadian.
When stars align.
Again, guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for being a part of our program. We appreciate you. And of course, we appreciate all your questions, and we're more than happy, more than delighted to help every day on this platform right here, guys. Share the love, because after this program is finished, it still might be information that, family definitely use. On the behalf of all of our team at Ride Along Live, our senior executive producer, Lois, JJ, and everyone here at Team Ride Along Live, we say thank you, good night, catch you guys tomorrow. Don't forget, guys, go ahead in the App Store right now and download Ride Go. Go right now and download Ride Go from the App Store. And if you ever come into Grenada, just tap the app and get a taxi. All right? Good night, guys. Catch you guys tomorrow. Peace out.
The sun is hot, the breeze is low. I need a ride. Where do I go? Ride Go, yeah. That's the name. Island roads will never feel the same. Tap the app, just one click. Hopping fast, it's real quick. Ride Go, where you wanna go? To the beach, to the street, let the island flow. Ride Go, let the good vibes show. Fastest growing ride, everybody knows.
Tuk Tuk now available on